Hello, we're Team Technical Difficulties, and we are students from Brooklyn Technical High School.
Hi, my name is Benson Zhang, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm Ryan Litt. It's also a pleasure to be here.
I'm Raymond. It's great to be here.
And my name's Daniel.
And we are addressing the problem for ecotherapy. Ecotherapy's goal is to bring people into nature to heal, reset, and connect. They believe the outdoors have unmatched power to restore both mental and physical health. However, making these experiences more accessible, especially in urban areas, is a real challenge. Many people stay in their homes because they feel isolated, fearful, or disconnected from their community, making their home a safe haven from negativity. As a result, they lack connection with nature.
So, our solution, Eco for Life, is a website that has Sarah, an AI assistant that engages users in meaningful conversations. Sarah is built on top of the Yama model, and her role is to support users specifically in mental health and wellness journeys, especially those who are overwhelmed or isolated, as well as we have a nature route finder that assists Sarah and provides pathing and geolocation to help you find nearby parks, community centers, and gardens.
In addition, we also have a way to find groups and events. So in the app, you can join groups or look for groups. And within the groups, for example, a soccer group, you can find maybe say soccer matches or any other events that are hosted.
So here's our demo.
All right, so here's our website. We got all of these stuff and what we do here. And we have our AI assistant called Sarah right here. And using this button, we'll be able to find and allowing our location, we'll be able to find all these parks that are near us. So I'll just pick this one for testing purposes, and it'll show the shortest route to the location. Um, right here. I start from this location and then we'll go here. So see you there. And we've arrived at the location. You see? Exactly the one that shows on the Google map. And it'll show that it's arrived. As you can see from the video, I start from my home and using the app, made my way to a nearby park. With the app letting me know where the closest park was, even though I live in an urban city, I was easily able to find a location filled with nature.
Alright, so I just want to do a quick overview of the mobile app. So basically it uses Expo and React Native, and basically as the README says, you just have to provide a Google Map key and also your local host. There's a server and also the actual code for showing the GUI. So for example, the server, if you go here, basically how it works is there's a big object that looks like this, for example. This is just pre-made data. And for example, there's a soccer group, right? If you've seen the demo. There's a chat, and this is just how the objects should look like. There's the current events, like date, title, description, location, and yeah, it just basically, for example, if you put /create event to the server, it will just push the data. It won't really verify, like if you're the owner, if that's like you have the right passcode. It's actually not that hard to implement right now, but we haven't. It's just like it will take a while. So, okay, so for example, how the app starts is we go first. It goes to app.tsx, right? And all it does is uses this provider for the theme, and then there's a first startup that only goes on the first start based on like if a file exists. That's how it checks. There's a navigation, so you can go between tabs, and I mean honestly that's like most of what you have to know. There's a utils file. There is some routes, for example, like find places, right? It just uses the expo location. Like this is expo's like API, I guess. And it just uses map view from React Native Maps, which is pretty easy to use, so it's nice. And yeah, so this is how some of the code looks. For events, like basically it just runs this update groups function. So send is just a custom function that like I created that it just is really easy. It just sends get groups like in the it does /get groups, and yeah, it just gets that data from the server. So yeah, that's basically all you have to know, and thank you for listening.
Hi, so this is our code explanation. So this is our main page of the website. It is a brief overview into our approach to ecotherapy and how one can find their own path to wellness. So this is the code. It's pretty um, it's pretty basic. We have the header, which is in its own component class. We have the button that you can see that says explore locations. It would redirect them to the page under /locations, and there are images that explain a bit about our approach.
Oh wait, is this where I go? Oh wait.
You can go,
Oh, what
don't comment out my code, but you can go to the explore locations, and then I'll talk about how it's supposed to prompt, and then okay, yeah, it's okay. We can cut this out. Okay, so this is our locations page. It first it usually will prompt the user whether it wants to share location with the website, and the website will use that location that is provided from the browser's geolocation and attempt to help you find places near you. But in the case that you don't allow the website to access your location, then there's a fallback method that that goes to our endpoint, our API endpoint for location, and in this endpoint it calls. So our fallback location function will call the API endpoint, which will return a latitude and longitude. You can go to locations.tsrs. Okay, so in our API endpoint, we use three separate APIs to try finding the most accurate geolocation, since the user does not choose to share the location with the website. And we use we try to use three of them for accuracy. And that so when the user loads in, we all the data that is generated is through our Maps API endpoint. Ryan, you can talk about.
Actually, no, I think it's better that I talk about the entire thing since I don't know, it feels unnatural to just okay.
Okay.
Go off.
So basically, we would use Google's Place API endpoint, and we would look for places nearby, regarding to like parks, gardens, and other areas they can go to explore our approach to ecotherapy. And if you click on a place, uh, oh, and let's see, when you click on a place, it would provide you directions upon our directions API endpoint. You can click the file.
Okay. This one?
Yeah. So basically when you click on a location, it will provide, when you click on the directions API endpoint, it will provide an iframe, so it allows the user to see the directions directly in on our website instead of having to go onto Google Maps himself. And each image that you see is provided through our Maps Photos API endpoint, which goes back to Google, and when fetching the various locations nearby, it would also go to the Place API endpoint and grab an image so the user knows which park this is, what the park may look like. Okay, so here's Sarah, our AI therapy assistant. It is built on top of the Llama API. So would we have a long prompt. It's go to the other one, the AI chatting components.
Okay.
Editor, have fun. Yeah, that one. So here's our component for the AI chat. So what happens is you can see the base prompt for when a user opens the chat right there. Uh, and basically what would happen is the AI gets a brief um, information about the user and like their surroundings. So it would go back to our location, it would go back to our Maps API endpoint that provides like locations roughly around.
Right.
And as well as that, now we come to a part where once it provides the context to the user, if it's possible, and then we have a AI prompt that we provide the Llama model, and it comes with the location context provided right there. And then we also, to prevent the AI from having no idea about what the user previously said, we also map out the previous messages so the AI model can understand that, and we provide the new message from the user. And this would go to our own API endpoint for chat, which handles it between the user and um, our AI model. Okay, I think we're good. So, yeah, so when you talk to the user, it will prompt and send messages back and forth between the user and our AI model. And if, as you can see, the AI model has a little bit of information about the parks, locations that we would recommend that are within your area. So while working on this project, it was a lot of fun working with the Google API endpoint, as well as utilizing various like tools like iframe and AI chat models like Llama and building it into our product. Thank you. It
Plan on
is a
incorporating
brief
to our website and
overview.
both our
Thanks.
apps? Well, for one, we plan on gamifying our apps and websites with either a point system or something similar to Pokemon Go, where we give users a sense to go outside, where users can we're incorporating our apps ability to mark down areas. So we can have it so that every time they mark down an area as visited, they'll be able to gain points that they can be used for certain activities that the app provides in the future to hopefully give a even further incentive to make going outside a even more fun of an experience. We also plan on adding multilingual support as currently our website and model is based off of English. And so to expand our app's usage in NYC, which is known for being a cultural center, we believe that we should expand it to other websites like Mandarin, Hindi, or Spanish, because NYC is just that unique of a place. And we also also for apps and websites, we currently only can identify parks and community centers, which we believe is which is not a grand scope of what is found in NYC. So in the future, we plan on adding ways to find even more money community centers like gardens or even theme parks that makes going outside a fun experience for not just for your health, but also for connecting with other people. And finally, we would like to thank the Code4Hope team for hosting this hackathon, as it was a great experience for all four of us. It allowed us to reconnect with people that's outside of people that we usually don't talk to, and also meet people that are just as good as us, if not greater. And hopefully this will be experience for others as well. And once again, thank you for making this hackathon a possible reality.